Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to yet another mystery stream where I'm checking out a playlist that Pinecino, our friend, has curated for us to check out. Today, he has informed me that we are checking out 2010's endings. There will be a list of 10 today. It's for the most part, when I do these ending streams, ending recordings, videos, I'm recording this on Twitch. For the record, if you want to check out a future stream, check it out at twitch.tv/Jasmer. That's if you're watching this on YouTube. When I'm recording these, generally it's endings for series that I've already seen the openings for. That's not to say it will all be that case, but yeah, that's what we're doing here. So if I'm thinking back to when we did the 2010s recording, the thumbnail is vivid in my mind because I just used it in a video actually for an opening stream. I will have that opening stream by the time I have this video out, so I'm gonna spoil it for anyone in Twitch chat. I haven't put that video out yet. So I checked out the Kingdom openings, and funnily enough, I did use the thumbnail that I created for that video for something else. It's not important whatsoever, but yeah, it's just funny that I use that and now we're checking out 2010's endings. Besides the point. So if I'm thinking back to that, I know we've got Nichijou, I know we've got Psychopass, and Promised Neverland, I think, is the other one in that thumbnail besides Steins Gate, because I've already watched Steins Gate, so that's not going to be in this today. So I'm very excited to see what we get in this video. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be another huge list. The endings lists have been so great because they really give me even more of an insight into these series, which I really do love and appreciate. So and it's been so long since I've tapped into these series, so it's going to be reacquainting myself with some really old friends, and I'm very excited for it. If you guys do enjoy these videos, feel free to check out the playlist down below where there are more of these videos, and of course hit the like button if you want to see more. You can always hit subscribe as well, and share down below in the comments which of these endings is your favorite. Forgive me if I say openings at any point. I mean endings. It's just I'm used to doing openings. So yeah, we're going to check this one out today. Very excited. Notification bell if you want to be notified. All that good stuff. Share this with someone who you think might enjoy. And we're going to jump right into this one. 2010's anime endings. Let's go. Oh, the Bell of Doom. I don't know what this is. Little thing hopping out in front. I love the whimsical feel of this. I hope this isn't secretly like a terrifying horror series. Oh, I think I know what this is. I can't remember the name of it though. This is really cute. Dripping tears. This little girl out in front is not with it. That animation is so funny. They're going down the rabbit hole. Is this Flipper Flappers or something? I'm just going off of that robot thing that we see. I think I remember that. I could be completely wrong though. Oh, they're saying flip flop. I'm a dumbass. I spent this whole time trying to think. This is such a cute art style though. I love the whimsical feel of it. That was so nice. The feet in the sand. That was adorable. I really loved the whole feel of this. Like, I can't believe she's over here saying flip flop, and I'm like, what's it called? What's it called? Meanwhile, they're feeding it subconsciously into me that it's, I think I said flipper floppers, but yeah. So yeah, that's a really great way to start this. This is, I love the vibe of this because it's very fantastical, which I don't think the series is like this whatsoever. So it's taking a unique approach of presenting the series in a different light, in a different way. So you can kind of see the characters, these two characters specifically, in different kind of scenarios that they wouldn't actually be in. That, you know, shows you that they're the same characters through anything and everything. And the song as well was so, I kept saying it, whimsical, just really fun. Like I really, really did think this was a great way to start this. But yeah, the 2010s are back. I can't believe Flip Flappers is back. I do recall that this series was a huge flop, and I can't remember if at the time there was like flop flappers jokes or anything like that, because you know it kind of flopped. But I know that it was also mentioned that this is, didn't the director of this go on then to direct Look Back? I'm getting like three different, what's that word, like three different streams of consciousness like flowing into my mind all at once as I'm trying to remember everything, because I remember this was such a memorable opening that we checked out that it's just fun going back. But there's so many thoughts running through my mind, I can't put them into succinct sentences, I guess. But yeah, this is the ending for Flip Flappers. Flip Flap, Flip Flap, very aptly named by Thomas, featuring Chima. Yeah, this was a really, really fun one. I loved that. This might sound crazy, but along the top, it's kind of like a moving PowerPoint, I guess you could say, where it's just like images that are frozen and it's kind of panning. You know, there's been some great openings, endings that I've seen where it's just been a panning image. Like I'm thinking specifically of certain ones like Hunting for Your Dream, the one Haikyuu one where it's kind of panning across all the teams and stuff. You know, so I do love that it's showing us a lot here, but I also particularly love that we get actual animation as well, where the characters are just walking around screaming whatever it happens to be, because there's never a dull moment in this ending whatsoever. And the visuals greatly accompany the song here, so I really do love this ending a lot. This is a great way to start this. I guess the two characters, you can learn a lot about them from this ending, where you kind of get the sense that I don't know if I would say like peach haired one, like it's either like orange haired or peach haired. I'm gonna say peach because it looks kind of peach colored here. She looks to be the goofy silly one, whereas the dark haired girl, she looks much more serious. She looks much more reserved, and my interpretation of what I think I'm seeing here is that the peach-haired girl is bringing the dark-haired one out of her shell and bringing her into like a world of being herself and not being afraid to show some character and being a less awkward individual, perhaps. And that kind of is shown throughout this entire thing, particularly when dark-haired girl is screaming and peach-haired girl in the background is rolling on the ground laughing, literally ruffling. Just the way that they're walking here in the bottom of this frame right here tells you everything. The peach-haired one is very strong and walking very confidently, whereas the one behind her is very shy, very to herself. So the way they hold themselves tells you a lot. I guess interestingly, we didn't see a whole lot within this that showcased the technology and power system. I don't know if there is a power system within the series that we saw from the opening, and that's obviously because they take a completely different approach here, showing like a fantastical world and everything. But I feel like I remember like there was like umbrellas and shit that were doing crazy things, and there was some wild shit happening in the opening, and then obviously like the robot and stuff that we do see here as well. I want to know what this little green bunny thing is, like this little ball, because it reminds me a lot of the mole things from Gurren Lagann. I'm sure I'm not the first person to say that, but that's based on like just appearance and shape and everything. I don't really know if I have much more to say about this. I loved it. I thought it was great, and I loved that by the end of this, from the animation, we kind of see the dark hair girl grow more confident, more comfortable with this other girl as they're skipping along, you know, carefree, but naturally by the end of this, she's running, chasing after her, and it looks very much like the peach-haired one has done something to her and she's trying to keep up. So I do think it's very funny that despite everything, the two characters, they go through a lot, they grow together, but their dynamic does not change. But yeah, I think I might already be ready to check out ending number 2. Love the art style as well. By the way, I don't know if I commented on the art style. Like, there's two different styles here. They're both adorable and they both look great. So I think we should maybe check out ending number 2 here. Let's see what we get in ending number 2. Here we go. Oh, like a 3D 2D look? Hold on, stop, wait a minute. Really jazzy. Is that Lupin? The third? In the distance? Oh no, he's gonna steal it. Oh, I love her voice. This looks great too. This looks really, really cool. Love the style. Oh, the edit there. The girl has shouldered enough. I'm sure she has when she's dealing with Lupin. That was sick. Welcome back, Lupin the Third. That was Lupin, right? Like standing right there. I recognize the shoes anywhere and like those long ass legs that are used for running away. This is the ending for Lupin the Third, Part 4. I Won't Love You If You Don't Say It Right, by Sayuri Ishikawa, who's a long-running traditional Japanese singer. Well, she's got a great voice. I was reading Sayuri and I was like, Steinsgate? But that's Mayuri. So let's forget that. This was a really, really cool ending that I think perfectly fits the vibe and the aesthetic that Lupin the Third has led me to believe it kind of has. Going all the way back to the Super OG series, you know, it had a really jazzy, groovy kind of feel to it. Every subsequent opening ending, I think it's only been openings that we've checked out so far, have had that same kind of feel to it. Then hearing a literal like jazzy, swingy kind of song being sung here, like presented here with a professional singer at the end of this, perfect. I honestly could not think of a more fitting way to have an ending for Lupin the Third. And yeah, Lupin the Third, like every time I see Lupin the Third in any kind of manner, that's it for the next 2 weeks. That first opening is in my head. I will be singing it, I will be whistling it, I will be humming it, and eventually my wife will ask me what the hell I'm whistling, what the hell I'm humming, and ask me to stop. So yeah, Lupin the Third is back. You'll be honest, you had to verify for yourself that she wasn't the voice actress for Fujiko, the femme fatale of the series, since she sounds so much like her. Really, the voice actress must then sound really strong. I don't know if that makes sense, but the singer's voice here sounded really, really strong, and you know, she sounded like a serious badass, I guess you could say, in her own way. I guess seeing femme fatale here makes a lot of sense. And we see within this as well, I think it's really interesting because we see two different shots, one where she's wearing this necklace and one where she isn't. So the one where she isn't wearing it, who's standing over her, you can see the shadow of Lupin the Third. And of course, a shadow being cast over her literally can tell you a lot about his character, where he's this ever-looming presence in her life that is just looming over her and she can't escape it. Like, she can't escape out of his shadow, I guess. I don't know if there's this kind of flirty relationship between the two of them, or he's really flirty and she's not interested, but they kind of have this dynamic because he's the one that's seemingly chasing after her or going after her within this ending, and she's kind of fighting back with her words, is how I interpret this ending. You know, like everything she's singing here, why would you leave without taking anything, like all of this. Meanwhile, he leaves while taking this necklace, it seems. Yeah, maybe I'm completely like butchering the interpretation of this, but I do think she looks like a really strong character, and I love the way that they present her. He's actually giving the necklace to her, presumably having stole it back. Really? Okay, well then that makes sense why the first frame, the first time we see he's standing over her and she's not wearing it, and then right after we do see that she is wearing it. I guess I was imagining that this was showing it backwards, like he's standing over her and it's like, what's he doing? And then you see her with it and it's like, oh, that's what he was doing, you know. Like, I guess I completely misinterpreted that, but that changes a lot, because if she's really so uninterested or uncaring when it comes to him, why then would she be wearing it when she's out performing? It's telling you a story within the story that it's showing, that that despite everything, there's always a part of Lupin with her. And yeah, I think if I was to even see one episode or one of the movies or anything, I'd be able to interpret this so much better, because I would have a grasp of their characters, because I don't know really the way these two are with one another, so I can't really, without a doubt, kind of give that away, because they're very clearly two adults that are somewhat interested in one another, is how I'm seeing, but I don't know if they're playing hard to get with one another or what the deal is. But yeah, this was really, really cool. Love the visual style. She's definitely just a character from this ending. Really? Damn. I don't know. Yeah. At this point, I don't know what to interpret from this, but this was really cool. The visual style is incredible. It looks so unlike anything else I've seen besides Lupin, if that makes sense. Like, it's so distinctly Lupin. I love the color palettes that they use and everything, and the backgrounds, just everything about this looks stunning. And the song was incredible. I love the singer's voice. I love the instrumentation and everything. And I think that this looks like a lot of fun, and it's really, really nice seeing Lupin again, because all the way back when we checked out those classic OG anime openings, that was a highlight in there. And you know, just seeing how that series has continued to live on into the future just really makes me happy. So yeah, I think we're gonna move on to the next one, but this was really, really nice to catch up with Lupin once again. Let's see what we get in ending number 3. Here we go. The drums kicked in. A stage. Okay. Beastars? Flawlessly. I forgot Beastars started in the 2010s. As always, the visuals for Beastars looks incredible. The tail is wagging. He's happy. All the shadows of people he knows. We will make a great time. Is he gonna bump into the little bunny girl at the end? Wow, this looks so good. Like, I love the kind of paper cutout look that they give. The backgrounds and everything. And the sun came up. And there she is. I want to know more about you. That's so adorable. But if the opening would lead you to believe anything, it's that he eats her. That's certainly how it looked anyway. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the opening by Ali. He stares at her, mouth open, and then you start to see blood and a bunny tail somewhere. So yeah, kind of crazy, but yeah, this so cute. I love the look of this so much. I guess I saw a stage and I just assumed this is going to be kind of like a band series, like a girl band series or something. I didn't have one in mind, but honestly, it surprises me very often just how many series I forget actually started in the 2010s. This is the first ending for Beastars Les Yeux by YURiKA, Land of the Lustrous OP. Beastars was fall 2019, so at the buzzer, really. Wild Side, that's the name of the opening, yes. Funny enough, I have been listening to that opening song a decent amount the past month, I would say. I'm trying to listen to like songs that pump me up and shit when I'm at the gym, but something about Wild Side when it starts like playing, I have my like playlist on shuffle. It's not exactly the kind of song I want to listen to while I'm working out, but like, I don't know, I just can never skip it. I just can't skip that song. It's so good. That was through fan subs. Netflix officially put it out in 2020, so this is a 2010 series. If you watch the show outside of the official manner. I'm trying to word that in a way that won't get me in trouble, but it definitely could. What do I remember about Beastars? I remember that this is Legoshi, and the studio that produced Beastars, Studio Orange, has created it in their usual 3D style. And funny enough, really interesting that the ending song here is done by YURiKA, who did the opening for Land of the Lustrous, because Land of the Lustrous, of course, was another Studio Orange series. So YURiKA being a common person across both those series, I think is really cool. I wonder if YURiKA has done anything for Trigun Stampede. I think that would be really cool, because then it's like you can look across the three different, I know there's probably more, but there's three different Orange series that I know of anyway, and those are the three. And I just think it would be really cool to find a common thread between all of them. As always, this looks stunning. It's such a great looking series. I know that the whole animals like looking like furry kind of thing puts a lot of people off, but for me, the way that this story looks from openings and endings that I've seen of this, I can't help but honestly want to watch this one day. Like, this really does look so cool, unique, and interesting. And I know that it's been compared to Zootopia or Zootropolis, depending on where you live, to death, and I'm not here to do that, but I do think that the kind of darker themes for this make this seem much more interesting to me than the aforementioned series of Disney movies. The whole thing with this being focused on nighttime and the moon and everything, obviously that's when, you know, like being a wolf and everything, that's when he would start to hunt people or others or anything. Like, he's a predator. I can't remember if it's a thing within this series or if I'm just thinking of Zootopia right now, where there's predators and there's prey, and obviously being a wolf, he would fall under the predator classification. So I don't know if this moon is kind of indicative of when he would naturally go hunting, or his kind would do such things. And in that same vein, I don't know if it's kind of seen as murder or like some crime when this kind of thing happens, because it's in their nature and it's kind of like animal instincts and stuff like that. So the way this world works, I think would be really interesting to learn more about, because I don't know if they do get in trouble for doing things like this. I just need to know at this point if the bunny girl is okay, because that first opening really had me worried that if not him, someone killed and potentially ate her. Obviously Legoshi being the main suspect here, because he is the one that's drooling at the mouth, looking at her and everything like that. But we're not talking about other openings, we're talking about this ending. I think it's really cool seeing the 3D look for this series within the ending, because I know that the opening had a very unique look obviously to it, and the second opening as well, the Yosobi opening, I think it had like a 3D look to it, but it was so uniquely stylized that it looked very different in my mind to how the actual series looks. Maybe that's not the case, so I can't exactly recall how the third opening looks, but I feel like I remember it being like a bunch of cutout magazine things and everything, and it once again looked very different. And then the most recent ending for the final season. I know that the second half is still to come out. I think the first ending for the final season, I think I remember it being so cool and so unique, and it had one of the coolest looks I've seen in an ending, probably period, full stop. So I'm excited to see what comes next, obviously, for more Beastars. But yeah, there's just something about the way these openings endings all look that it sets the series apart so much. I don't know if seeing him with his tail wagging is telling us his happiness or joy or whatever when he looked at the deer guy. I'm not sure really what to take from that, but he does look quite down as he's walking around. He's hunched over, he's not looking very confident, not walking straight, and I can't help but wonder if he's even happy in his life. And you know, the moon is ever present in his life, this ever looming danger of the moon and what that means for him. But as he's looking out, it seems as though the sun starts to rise, because he's looking out and we start to see this really bright light, but it's actually the bunny girl, and it's still nighttime. So it's kind of showing us that she is the light in his life, and she means a lot to him, and she brings so much light to his world and makes him a better person, makes him a happier person. But really all he can do to show that to us right here is by staring at her, and that's something we've seen across multiple openings, I would say, for Beastars. He stares a lot at her. It's very strange, but I'm sure that kind of showcases just how in awe and transfixed he is by this bunny girl, and I would hope that it comes across cute and not creepy in the series itself. I really love the way that this is done on a stage and everything, kind of telling us as though like their story is a dramatic one, very theatrical, and having the cutouts and everything for the backgrounds I think was really cool, and it added a lot to this. And yeah, what a great ending this was. But yeah, I think I'm ready now to check out ending number 3 and see what we get. As always, love a good Beastars opening ending, and I'm glad again we were able to see this, and I hope that we get to see the next opening and ending for Beastars very soon when the final season part 2 finally drops. Maybe it's already started and I just don't know about it. But yeah, we're going to check out ending number 4. Here we go. Oh, very cute. Nichijou is back. So cute. Oh, I love that style so much. It looks so nice. We're laughing at a lot of fun today. That's good. We chatted mostly like nitwits. Wow, that style looks so good. I love the kind of like the backgrounds, the way they're drawn and stuff. It's so cute. Look at that animation style. That's sick. Looks so different from the series proper, I think, but it has so much like sauce to it. It's so good. That big snake. Oh, the piano run. That was so cute. I could do like 5 more of those endings. That was so good. I love that. There's something about the way the characters look and everything. It just looks so unique and unlike anything else. Like, I can't explain it. I know it's kind of like I've seen probably similar coloring and look and everything like this before, but also paired with the character designs and everything, this looks so good. It reminded me a lot at the very beginning, like right here, I guess, of the ending for City. Simply because, you know, you're seeing all these random things scattered about and everything, but the two endings couldn't look any more different, you know, one being claymation and the other being this really beautiful 2D animated style that looks so incredible. Really interestingly as well, it seems like they really went off with this ending, like how it looked and everything. Like, they could have just played this so safe, but that's not the way they do things. Like, what's the studio, Kyoto Animation, KyoAni? This is the first ending for Nichijou Z or ZZZ or ZZZ by Sayaka Sasaki. It's the first ending, as in there's a bunch of versions of this song, and there's a bunch where it's characters from the series singing the covers. That's really cute. KyoAni never does it the easy way. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, they took no shortcuts whatsoever here. When it came to making this ending, they made this look as incredible as possible. I absolutely adore how this looks. This looks so phenomenal, so pretty, and the song as well had a really childlike fun feel to it. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but there's this kind of Rugratsian feel to it. Like, you know, the opening for Rugrats, I don't know, like just the way the piano is or whatever, it just makes me feel like a child again, the way this is presented, like this song and everything. And I really loved the way they did this. It sounds so fun, it sounds so nostalgic in a way, and it really does have that childlike feel to it. That's really Rugrats-esque. I don't know. It's really fun, and I loved it. I think there's more seasons of Nichijou, so I would hope that would mean that there's more Nichijou endings coming up on this list, because I could go for like I said at the end, I could go for like 5 more of those. Like, that, it was so fun. There's no more. Oh no, it's the only ending, but it's done through different ways. Oh, that's a shame. I guess I would have to watch the series itself to hear the actual other presentations of this song. Nichijou was actually a famous flop as well. I feel like I remember you saying that during the openings, and that blows my mind because I know how much of a beloved series it is. As well as that, I feel like it's a series that people look back on as being quite influential within the slice of life comedy scene. So I don't know if it's a common thing, but I've heard like Pinecino and some others kind of use the phrase of, you know, people waiting for the next Nichijou sort of thing. And I remember you maybe said that when we were doing the what was it, Noko 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 Tan Tan opening, that you said, I think, that people thought that it was going to be the next Nichijou, but it ended up being City that was the next Nichijou. It lived on as a cultural zeitgeist through clips, but at this time it just didn't get it done for some reason. That's such a shame, because being from KyoAni, you would expect that people would just immediately latch onto it, unless maybe it's the look of it or something. Like, maybe people didn't latch onto it immediately or think it was for them. But yet then again, like, I don't know what came out this year. Like, maybe there were some other huge series that released this exact same year, maybe in the same season, and this just sadly got buried underneath all of those other beasts. That's a shame, especially when all I can talk about are openings and endings. I don't know if I've seen clips of Nichijou or anything like that, but the ending, this ending in particular, was so fun, and it was so cute, and it was so adorable, and it felt really good. It made me feel great. So I'm sure that the series itself also gives you those same feelings. So I can't imagine there was anyone with anything negative to say when this was releasing back in the day, but it is a shame that people weren't picking it up in the moment. But I'm glad that it has that cultural relevance now, because people have shared clips, people have since recommended it, and people have since watched it and kept it in discussion, I guess. You can guarantee me that I've seen some clips without knowing it. They get edited a lot. Actually, Steins Gate was the same season, funny enough. That's crazy. Steins Gate was a pretty big one. I know that it was big because it was big, but also, like, I know that there are visual novel series that do get a lot of love and attention no matter what when they're being done here. I feel like there's been some other visual novel series that we've checked out recently that were pretty popular. I'm sure you're right, Pinecino, in that I have seen some clips, but I cannot for the life of me recall any off the top of my head. But yeah, I don't doubt it, because I know how deeply love this is, and I know that it is a series that people talk about a lot when it comes to its comedy and stuff. So yeah, also like, damn, just this looks incredible. I'm not going to get over just how great this ending looks. It's the fact it's an ending as well, and they really did a great job at just making this look as amazing as possible. Like, the backgrounds look incredible, the character designs look amazing, the colors used, the designs, everything is just so stunning. And yeah, I can't help but fall in love with everything about this. Like, this is stunning. This is amazing. I really do love this ending so much. I have nothing but praise for Nichijou. I remember the openings, I think they were done by the same artist, and they were just so much fun. And it's nice to see that the ending here doesn't necessarily have that same fun energy, but it has that kind of slice of life feel to it, which I think, for this being a slice of life series, is perfect. And also, like, it does, like I said, have that nostalgic feel to it that just, it keeps you wanting more. It reminds you of like happier times in your youth, which I absolutely adore. I don't know if I have really much more to say about this ending. I think it was incredible. I loved it so much. But I think I'm ready now to move on to ending number 5. It's a shame we're not going to see any more Nichijou here. That was definitely a highlight of the video where we checked out Nichijou, because there was more than just one opening in there, and we're going to see what comes next. So in anime ending number 5, here we go. Black and white. Very Christmas kind of feel. Snowflakes in the background. Carole and Tuesday! Welcome back. Oh, it's so cute. This is adorable. I love this. I imagine this is more the look of the series, like their animation style here and how they look. They're walking on the keys. What? They're in color now! That's sick. Yo, homegirl's rocking the Freddy Krueger look. It's weird seeing them in their actual, like, styles of how they look in series. I've just had that opening look in mind, you know, where they're very stylized. Carole and Tuesday, that was really, really cute. I love that one so much. A couple of things. Obviously, I don't know who's Carole and who's Tuesday. If Carole's on the left, Tuesday's on the right, or what it happens to be. But the one on the left, definitely design-wise, very Cinderella Alice-esque, you know, with the colors of her dress and everything, I guess. Whereas the other one, she's got the Freddy Krueger stripes and everything. It's very, very funny to me just seeing that outside of Nightmare about left is Tuesday, right is Carole. Really? Okay, well, I find that interesting that they do it backwards, you know, Carole and Tuesday, but it's actually Tuesday and Carole. Typically I'm used to, like, you know, when it's someone and someone, they kind of stand in that way so that you know who's who, if that makes sense. This was so good. I loved the feel of this, like from the opening notes and the snowflakes looking things in the background there. It felt very much like this was almost Christmassy, if that makes sense. The synth kind of sound in the background is vaguely familiar, vaguely similar, I guess, to Last Christmas, Wham's Last Christmas. Like, let me hear if I can find that. Maybe not exact, but there's just something about the rhythm and the sound of that synth for some reason making me think of Last Christmas. Maybe it's also just what I was seeing in the background was making me think of that, and maybe it's also the fact that it's currently the 16th of December so we're only like 2 weeks out. It's obviously the holiday season, so Christmas isn't the only seasonal holiday happening right now, but it's just, I guess that's in my mind right now, so maybe that's what's making me think Last Christmas by Wham. But also, like, the way that the actual characters look in series, they're stunning. I really do love it so much. I honestly would never have imagined them wearing these kind of colors, looking like this. Like, I don't know, like, in my mind, Carole and Tuesday looked like the opening, and I knew that it didn't. I knew that it couldn't have looked like that, but that's the only thing I had in my mind of this series. So this is really, really cool and interesting, actually seeing the real styles here. I feel like I recall, Pinecino, you saying that there's almost like an outlandish like plot in this series where it's like something to do with Earth being destroyed or something, like them recording music. I can't remember if they're recording music to save Earth or if they're recording music to lift the spirits of everyone on like Mars or whatever planet that they're on. You might have to remind me, because yeah, it's hard for me to recall. The show is like halfway between the opening and ending. Really? That's so cool. I would guess then in that case the backgrounds might look somewhat opening-esque, whereas the characters look ending-esque. But even still, that's absolutely stunning. There's something about this as well, like it's reminding me of something else, just the way they look, and it's not coming to mind what it is. I guess as well you can make a comparison that Tuesday, I guess, on the left here, she looks almost Marnie-esque when Marnie was here, when Marnie was there, whatever it's called. It's actually depressingly relevant, where music is largely dominated by AI, and their gimmick is that they make human music. That's it. See, okay, that makes a lot more sense then. I just knew that there was like this really like kind of like I knew that the themes of the series were actually like really either fitting or dark compared to like what you would actually see here, and that's really sad, because yeah, it's very, like you said, depressingly relevant right now. We're seeing the rise of AI bullshit, and it really does upset, you know, me, because I can't even go on social media these days without being bombarded with all this fake bullshit, and it just sucks. Thankfully, within anime openings, endings so far, we're seeing real art, and this is absolutely stunning. This is incredible, and this is going to show that humans do it best. I love as well that the song, like you said now, Hold Me Now by Carole and Tuesday, it's like the opening done by the voice actresses for Carole and Tuesday. I think that's really, really cool. For now, don't say that. Because in a series about music, it makes sense for the artists to do the opening and ending. Like every good music anime series has the band, group, singer, artist, whatever it is, performing the opening and ending. Like look at just about every girl band series we've seen on this channel, you know, going as far as like Bocchi the Rock, you got Girls Band Cry, just about any series that we've checked out so far. Did Beck do their own opening ending? I can't recall. Great. I love it so much. It's so fun to actually hear the voice actresses singing. They have great voices, or maybe it's just one that sings and the other plays the instrument. I'm not sure, but so cool seeing the way they're just like so different from one another. One looks very princess and the other looks very not princess. Let me think of a better way to say that. Like Tuesday, who is on the right here right now, looks like she'd be the kind of character who'd be very proper, very cordial, very like prim and proper. I don't know a better way to say that. Whereas Carole on the left here, she's looking up, hands on her shoulders, kind of like confident, and looks like she's the kind of character very confident, very sure of herself, and she knows what she can and can't do, and she's got this really bubbly personality, I would guess. So seeing the two of them clash, and that's when the color comes into view, I think tells you a lot. And you know, they're very different, but they walk the same path. They walk the path of music, and that's what we're seeing here as they're walking along the keys. They are walking along the path of real music, real instruments, and they are real humans. They are actually doing it right. This was so cool the way that they did this, where the color came into view, and it's right as they pass by each other. But then, you know, we see them walking towards us, and they look so different once again. Like, yeah, the studio who did the series, I can't recall who it was, really cooked here, because this looks genuinely incredible, and I love the way this looked. I love the feel of this. It felt so so comfy, cozy. It really had a heartwarming feel to it. And the one and only Bones, there you go. Well, unsurprising then that this looks incredible, because when has Bones ever done anything that didn't look incredible? And yeah, the whole world here is in color once they're walking alongside each other. Like, once they're together, the world is in color, the world is full of music, and yeah, they're here. They're gonna make real music, and they're going to make people happy with their music. And I think that that's really cool, and I think it's ever relevant, and never more relevant than right now. And Carole and Tuesday, I believe this was written or directed by can't remember his name, Cowboy Bebop, Kids on the Slope, Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, I think, right? Shinichiro Watanabe. Yeah, that's the very man himself. Yeah, and I love his range. He's done he's done so many different series that it's honestly incredible just how vastly different they all are from one another. And yeah, I hope that he continues to make more series. I know he did Lazarus just last year. I hope that we continue to see more Watanabe series, and I hope that we get to see more Bone series. I hope that we get to hear more human openings, both in terms of visual presentation and song. But yeah, we're going to move on here to see what we get in ending number 6. So here we go. Okay, is this going to be Beastars again? A different act? Yes, it's the exact same visually so far. This is, oh, the blood moon this time. Oh, ominous. Oh shit, we're seeing a completely different light. This is cool. Oh shit, who is that man that he sees in the mirror? He doesn't like it. Wow, this is actually really cool. Holy shit, it's kind of scary to think, like, do we know this guy at all? The shadow larger than him. And the hands reaching out, that's crazy. And scene. Okay, what's he gonna see this time? This is where he sees her. Is she gonna be dead? Oh shit. That's crazy. That was wild. That was really, really cool. I love that so much. That told us a story. That was Act 1 and Act 2 of Beastars right there. Holy shit. Once again, YURiKA. That was Sleeping Instinct, the second ending for Beastars. Holy shit. You know, you could throw your hands up and say cinema, because holy shit, that was insane. Last one was blue flavor. This one was red flavor. Yeah. The last opening, or ending rather, the last ending had so much, you know, hope. There was like a serenity, and it had a certain like feel that was not creepy or anything like that. It was very fun and everything was good. This one, holy shit. I'm guessing this is the second ending for season 1. Like, it follows immediately, or is this season 2's ending? Because if it's the same format for 2 different endings across 2 different seasons, holy shit, that's amazing. But in my mind, I'm assuming that this is probably just the second ending for season 1. Yes, second ending for season 1, gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. But oh my, this is like one of the, like, shit like this is the reason I love doing these videos, because you get surprised every now and then by like stuff like this, and it really, 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 really blows my mind that they even went to all the effort to do this, to present and create two different ending themes, ending songs, ending visuals. Like everything is so different from that first one, except, you know, some of the scenes, you know, they're probably just doing the same animation and everything. So really it's just backgrounds that are changing, I guess, for some scenes. But a lot of this was very different. This was, in my opinion, the better ending. Maybe, you know, I could say I preferred the other song or something, but in terms of visuals, this was amazing. Like, this was so creepy, so unsettling, and it really did make me on on edge and start to question Legoshi altogether. Like, can I trust this guy? Because he seemingly can't even trust himself. Like, there's no telling what he's going to do when the moon is up in the air. There's a blood moon and everything, and he is very, very scary because there's so many different scenes here where you're starting to think like, okay, maybe it's not so bad, but then you start to see shots like this of his teeth. His mouth is open and you're like, oh shit, that's not good. Because he's showing his sharp teeth, like he's ready to bite down on something. I'm surprised you don't see drool dripping from his mouth here. It alternated endings depending on the episode. That's cool. So it wasn't like one half and then the other half. It was like maybe episode 1 played ending 1 and then episode 2 played ending 2, depending on what happened. That's a really, really cool way to do it, honestly, because you never know what you're going to get, I guess, going into it. And I'm sure it all fits thematically which ending plays. But like, yeah, you see him stand up and you start to see him sweat. So like, it does give you the sense that he doesn't trust himself. Like, he's got these ideals in his mind that he wants to follow, but it's almost like it's hard for him to, because of his instinct, his sleeping instinct, you could say, that he just wants to go out and do wolf things. And that's exactly what he's kind of doing throughout this, because we see him trying to destroy that image of himself through like destroying a mirror and everything, as he sees himself with this really shadowy look, this otherworldly being, this person that he isn't. He tries to destroy that image, but he's not able to, because it's just who he is. It's in his nature, and you see that ever present throughout this entire ending. And yeah, it's just so damn creepy. And then you can almost like see a scene here where it pretty much seemingly takes over him, to the point where he can't control it anymore. It's a really cool way to present that kind of idea. And then you see him walking through like this like foresty area with silhouettes of trees and everything. Everything looks so off-putting, so unsettling, and Legoshi is just walking through it with red in his eyes, and he's not reacting whatsoever. He doesn't seem out of place here. In fact, his shadow is huge, and his shadow is very much shadowing over him. Like, it's huge compared to him. So no matter what he could say, he could do whatever it is in order to present this good image of himself, his shadow will ever be present. It will always be huge, and it will always be this looming threat over everything. All these hands reaching out as well was so creepy. And when he exits the stage, that's when we see him go up to look out the balcony that we saw from the previous ending. But as he does so, instead of, you know, staring at the bunny girl with like awe, he's staring with this really awful, terrifying look, where he's been animated so differently. The way that this looks here, it's reminding me a lot of like, you know, Beast of Darkness kind of look for Berserk, when, you know, Guts is kind of taken over by this Beast of Darkness. It doesn't look like it, but it reminds me of it, where it's like two sides of the same person, you know, like there's this beast within, and then there's the really good-natured person. That's what I'm getting from Legoshi here, and he's staring down at her from this higher altitude, but he's on all fours like an animal. He's no longer got this humanity, these morals to him, and I'm worried for what he might do next. And that's when the curtains fall, and scene. It's terrifying, it's awful, it's scary, but holy shit, was this cool. This was such a great ending, such a great accompanying ending for that first one. And like, why do I sound surprised? I said during that first Beastars ending that we checked out today that Beastars consistently knocks it out of the park. They have never had a single dud. They have never done anything wrong, never taken a wrong foot, wrong step. And this is just yet another notch in the cap of Beastars that is absolutely phenomenal. What a great ending this was. It truly was incredible. So yeah, we're going to check out the next one, I think, but I hope we hear more YURiKA in the future, and I hope we see more Beastars in the future. It's funny, I think I said that not that long ago, where I was like, I hope we see more Beastars, and here we are, check out another Beastars ending. So yeah, hopefully more to come in the near future. And yeah, we're going to just move on to the next one, see what we get in number 7. Let's go. Damn, Beastars has it all. Oh shit. What is this? Very abstract. Looks like Hotline Miami, if I'm being honest, with all the map layout and the doors, the way it opens. It's creating a sense of no escape. So I'll eventually go to heaven, shit. Tears are falling as it starts to fall. Yeah, they cooked. Yo, my head would be spinning too if this was the endless kind of corridor I was being presented with. A nice and likable girl. What is this? That love thief. I love the sound of this too. This sounds so good. You're the heaven. Okay. I forgot to forgive. That was a lot of things, and one thing it was surprisingly kind of creepy and eerie. I don't know what this is. I haven't pulled up the synopsis yet, but if I was to throw out a couple of guesses for what this could be, one being Kaguya because of the mention of like love and everything, and all these corridors almost like they're trying to get to that love but not quite getting there, and another being, I guess, like there's a couple, what's the one about like the TV channel that's out to get people or something? There's some, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, then I can't really think of anything else this could be. NHK or something. This is the ending for Tatami Galaxy, really? As the Gods Will by Etsuko Yakushimaru. Okay, Kaguya has its own crazy endings we'll get to. I'm sure it does. It was just like the constant mention of love and everything. I was like, surely this is like a romance series then or something, and all these corridors are kind of representing that kind of idea of trying to get to that end point, but it's taking a long time to get there. Blueprints Japan, that's really funny. It looks like I loaded into a Hotline Miami level, and like there's a guy up here that I got to get to, and yeah, I can see the blueprints ID as well, which is really funny. But wow, this was a lot of things. Like I said already, one of them, like, it was so cool, but it was really, really interestingly creepy. Like, I feel a little unsettled by this ending because of the sound of the song, like, and the really the singer's voice as well was really soft. So hearing this kind of like the way the song sounded really just put me on edge. And I say that, but this is for sure a song that I am adding to my playlist. I love this so much. I will be looking up As the Gods Will by Etsuko Yakushimaru immediately once I finish this stream. As a reminder, this is a Yuasa anime. Yes, I was going to get to that. I was going to say this. It's this Yuasa. I haven't read the rest of it, but from what I remember, there was like a Woody the Cowboy kind of character, and there was this really outlandish plot. I can't recall what it is, but I'm going to read. A guy in college that's caught in a 3-year loop, that's right, every episode, to see if he can experience the fabled fulfilling college experience. That's right. You'll be adding her to the playlist a few times from future sets. I love that because this is the first time I'm hearing her, correct? So I love that we're going to be hearing more of her because she has a really, really beautiful voice. Like I said, very soft and offset from what I was hearing here, but so perfect for what this is visually telling me, where it's like this endless trap, this endless loop. Nothing changes. It's just like the same but different. You know, there's never a way out. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. And from the description that you just get, Pinecino, that's kind of what I'm guessing a lot of the series is, where technically things will change in those 3 years each loop, but a lot of that will be the same, and there's no escape, there's no way out, there's no difference, there's nothing really changing, there's no fulfillment whatsoever, and we got to get to the end of the series to hopefully see that fulfillment come about. I do, interestingly enough, remember that when I uploaded the video where I had the opening for this, I remember that there were a lot of big series that I had already heard of within that, but I came away from that video with this and maybe some others, I can't quite recall, being at the top of my I want to check this out one day lists. And as well as that, I feel like Tatami Galaxy was maybe, if not the most, one of the most talked about series in the comments for that video, which really surprised me because being ignorantly, blissfully unaware of a lot of 2010 series, a lot of the landscape of anime during that era, I did not realize how popular and how acclaimed this series was. So I did put it in the poll when I was doing a poll for which series should I watch next, and Re:Zero with Free Run coming in second. And I remember Tatami Galaxy doing quite well in that poll, which yet again really surprised me. So yeah, it's a series that continually surprises me, and once again this ending surprised me because I had no idea that's what this is, that this was for Tatami Galaxy, because it's so unlike the opening, even though the opening as well was walking through a lot of corridors and stuff. So I guess you could make that comparison, and it was like an endless corridor, I guess you could say, from that opening. But this really shocked me, and once again, it's putting this high up on my radar of anime series that I really want to check out. And obviously knowing that this is Yuasa as well, obviously that helps bump it up a lot as well. A lot were asking for a reaction to this ending since it's a bit more famous, really. Okay, that makes sense then why it was mentioned so much then. I couldn't remember if it was the ending or not, but I remember a lot of talk about Tatami Galaxy in the comments for that video. And let me just say as well, I remember absolutely adoring that opening, and I feel like I recall, Pinecino, you saying you threw that opening in last minute, like you weren't planning on including the Tatami Galaxy opening for that video and you threw it in, and boy was I glad that you did. And once again, I'm so glad we checked this one out because this is visually incredible. Like, yeah, you could say it's nothing like super special because it's very much like just these kind of boxes that, like, if you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know what you're looking at. Like, it's very clearly doors opening and closing, like it's blueprint plans for corridors. And obviously from the description of the series, it's telling you this story of going nowhere but constantly going somewhere. I love it. Like, obviously, like, I made it a lot of comments on Hotline Miami already. Hotline Miami, one of my favorite games maybe of all time, in all honesty. Like, I love both of those games so much. I adore them, and I'm honestly thinking about replaying them now that I've watched this ending. Blueprints as well, my favorite, well, not my favorite, but one of my favorite games of 2025. So thankfully I'm aware of this kind of layout, so I know what I'm looking at. The way that this plays out and the way it kind of has a really unique look to it, and it tells you the story, like the lyrics as well of you know what, like it's talking about falling and everything. There's mention of love, and I don't know if there is this kind of romance angle within this series, but it really is just a phenomenal ending here. It's hard to pick favorites when this list has been so stacked already. Like honestly, like starting with Flip Flappers, like we got like Beastars, and we got this one now as well, obviously Nichijou and Lupin as well. Like so stacked. This is maybe the hardest to pick a favorite from yet, but in terms of both visual and song, I think this might slightly be taking the cake for me as of now. Like I don't get me wrong, the Nichijou opening and ending, the Nichijou ending visually and song were incredible, and in terms of visual and song, that's probably second. But the visuals for the previous Beastars ending that we just watched might be my favorite visuals that we've checked out so far today. But in terms of all around package, just what this one is conveying, I find it hard to fault this one. I find it hard to say anything negative. Not that I've said anything negative whatsoever, but yeah, I feel like this is just such an incredible ending, and it's once again reignited my love for, not love, but reignited my interest in wanting to check out this series. I don't really know what more to say about this, but yeah, Pinecino himself has said that this is one of the critical darlings of the 2010s, and I can absolutely see why, with an incredible opening and ending like this one. Also, was it Kanabun or Asian Kung Fu Generation that did the opening? I remember it was like a Naruto artist that did it, so it's, yeah, it was okay. So yeah, I'm glad that we've been introduced to a new artist here with this ending, and with the promise of hearing more of her in the future. That's very, very exciting to me, because it's always something I hope for when I hear new artists. So with new artists for me. So yeah, let's see what we get in the next ending, in ending number 8 for this video. Here we go. Oh shit, a little bit of heaviness coming in. Don't know which way I should be moving. Love the sound of that intro though. A lot of food. I love the paneling as well. It's so nice to see. I'd be much happier if we didn't know. Is this Promised Neverland? I see kids. I think it is. Oh shit, okay. Little keyboard. Oh shit, I love that kick beat, it's sick. That's so good. The lyrics though are very sad and depressing. These clumsy legs of mine. And look at that visual change up right there. Oh, the red flowers is never good. The way it, oh shit, oh no. Oh no, that's not good. And the owl, what does the owl mean? What's that quote from Twin Peaks about the owls? I can't remember. A couple of things I want to say. The way this started and the way it ended reminded me a lot of the Domestic Girlfriend opening, you know, where like the keys come in and it starts getting hectic and chaotic, and I can't remember the singer's name. It didn't sound like her to me, so I don't think it's the same artist from that Domestic Girlfriend opening, but reminded me of it just from the sound of the piano and everything. This is the first ending for the Promised Neverland Desperate Situation by Koshunie. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that last part correctly. The way that this was done with these panels and everything, like it starts off full screen almost, it looks like, and then it goes into this paneling, and the paneling kind of tells you a story where, you know, at the very start there's some color, but then as it goes on it gets very dreary, very dull, very devoid of color, devoid of life and light and everything, and it's very, very off-putting in a way, where like you get the sense that these characters are not happy, and like there's just this darkness in the world, because when it's showing the kids, and especially like when it shows drawings and everything they've done, you would want to see light, you would want to see color. So them being in this this orphanage really just doesn't bode well when this is the kind of color that we're seeing, the kind of style, the kind of look and everything. And I feel like this ending as well is maybe showing the characters when they're a little younger than they are in the main series, because Emma, I think her name is, the main character, she looks very short right here. And I know that's her because of her hair. So she looks very short. So I'm wondering if this is like kind of a glimpse at their past. They all have each other, and like all they have is each other, I guess you could say. They spend a lot of time together. They play with each other. They play instruments. They do things for one another. But in the background, you've got lyrics saying, you know, we'll pour our blood, sweat, tears, and determination. Today's red and sky is truly frightening. We wouldn't be so much happier if we didn't know. Like, I'm just clicking randomly into parts of this, and it's the most grim, terrifying lyrics I have read for an anime ending maybe ever. Like, this is just really, really sad. Like, and with it, the gentle voices we once cherished fade into nothing. Like, again, I'm just clicking into random parts of this, and it's telling me this really depressing story. Believing in those was all I had to hold on to. Like, jeez. And yeah, they're just all looking out towards anything, and there's no sense of freedom, because even when the butterfly comes and lands on this kid's finger, it just cuts away to kids running, and even the butterfly wasn't given like all this color, it was just given a little bit of color, but even the color was red, and red is kind of danger. So is there any freedom? Because obviously butterflies represent freedom, but then obviously then we see Emma in this field full of birds, and the birds representing freedom. So it's kind of telling you two different things, where it's like, yes, there is a sense that there can and will be freedom, but how do they achieve it? How will they get to that? And then instead of following Emma, we follow a feather which is falling, and kind of representing, you know, the lack of freedom, the loss of freedom, because it's like the feathers obviously used for flying. One of them is now falling. So seeing this falling to the ground just gives you little hope, especially then when you see a boot intertwined with all these branches that are just overtaking it. And as well as that, is this like a chess piece behind it? Like, I don't know chess, so I don't know which piece this is, if it is a chess piece, but I can only imagine it's very relevant for the events of this series and what we're seeing right here and now. But yeah, this was just really, really off-putting, and visually and stuff as well. Like, the song sounded great, lyrically was just awful, and I don't mean that in a talking down on it way. I mean that in like the lyrics just describe really awful things, and really just makes me feel upset and sad, especially when the content of the series is specifically involving children. Again as well, then the visuals as well give you little hope, because it's a lot of just dreary color. There's not much light, there's not much life. But yeah, even like when there was color, it kind of went away from that really quickly and went to like a depressing kind of thing, where like, you know, a feather falls, or it starts showing panels of their past where they're devoid of color. Like, there's just seemingly no hope in this world, and that makes me sad, that makes me upset. And especially when I feel like this is very ironic, considering what came next in season 2 of Promised Neverland. You know, there's no hope for this series when apparently season 2 was so shit. But yeah, I'm not sure I really have much more to say about Promised Neverland. I do think it looks like a very interesting series, but I feel like the response to season 2 has kind of put me off it so much that it's sadly not a series I feel like I have any kind of attachment or want to check out. But maybe that's unfair. Maybe you guys could recommend season 1 or the manga series to me. But yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to the next one, which would be ending number 9. Okay, another one? Are you kidding me? Holy 3 endings for one season is crazy. Aren't they like 12 episode seasons? This one has a lot more hope. Looks more like a sun than a moon. Oh? All the good. Who's this character though? I feel like I don't recall seeing them before. Turn back the hands of time. Wow, look at that. That looks so cool. Through his reflection. Okay, that's like the first ending. This is so cute. The fishies. It's still a moon though because you see the stars next to it. But it's more like a twilight kind of. Like a next day is coming. Aww. Oh? Not what I was expecting at all. I really thought we were going to see the bunny again, but I don't know if this is like a bromance or what's going on. But yeah, that really surprised me seeing this guy right at the end there. This is the third ending for Beastars Meeble by YURiKA once again. Yeah, I should have, I guess, called that out because I figured it would have been YURiKA once again. But oh my, 3 endings in one, probably just 12 episode season is incredible, especially when they all tell such different stories. There's just something about this that makes you so happy, gives you so much hope, so much, like it feels like there's endless potential. YURiKA singing me a lovely little almost like a lullaby, like of hope and looking towards the future, sharing dreams and sharing heights, as it says right here. Like, I feel like there's nothing I can't do after this. But it's interestingly enough as well, like the one ending that shows several other characters. The alpaca at the start is the victim of a murder that kicks off the tension of the series. That's really sad. And I guess that makes sense then why I said I feel like I've never seen this character before, because they're probably only there very briefly. And I'm sure that it's like, yeah, I guess you also saying murder kind of clues me in then to a question that I asked in the first ending for this Beastars set that we've checked out. Where I was like, is it even called murder? Is it a crime? Like, is it just seen as something that happens because it's in their nature? So I guess you saying it's a murder kind of gives it this heaviness and this intensity, and I guess makes it very much so that it's something that wasn't okay. It's something that's wrong. I don't know, like there's just something about this deer character that I don't know if this is going to sound crazy because I don't know the guy, but the way he is looking here, he puts his hand on Legoshi's shoulder and then just walks away, followed then by right at the end him being the one that shows up as Legoshi is looking forward. I'm questioning now whether he's like a jealous kind of person who wants Legoshi all to himself because he's got his attention now, and this being the last ending and this being the one that switches up the end formula where he's been looking out towards this bunny girl the entire time, and then right here at the end he's looking at Louis, as Pinecino was saying, or is it Louis? It's really making me think that this guy wants all of his attention because he's showing up. He's putting himself in this scene that he didn't belong in. And we know he didn't belong here because he wasn't in the first 2 endings. He's shown up. He's shoved himself in there. He's taken this spot. That's what this is telling me. He didn't really give me like evil vibes or anything, but this look right here, this frame specifically, makes him seem untrustworthy. But I don't know if that's fair because immediately after he does lift his eyes and he doesn't look as ominous. So yeah, like I don't know if I trust him. I feel like right now, like, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I hope that he's not going around killing people close to Legoshi just to get his attention or anything like that. Like, I hope that's not the case, but who knows? Who knows what the case is in this series, because I don't really know myself. I'm honestly assuming here that this is kind of showing all the beauty in his life then when we see all these other characters. We see everyone kind of smiling. It's got this really cool animation style, like the drawings and everything. And following that then, we see by herself this little bunny girl who catches his attention, and she smiles and he raises his eyebrows and kind of stares at her very like shocked, like he's got this wide-eyed look and everything. But once again, like I've been saying, forcing himself in there. As soon as it finishes showing her, look who shows up and touches him and puts his hand on his shoulder and forces Legoshi to look at him. None other than Louis. One or the other. And yeah, other than that, it is a beautiful ending. The song is beautiful. The visuals are beautiful. It shows a lot of life. It shows a lot of beauty, and it really just makes you feel so comfortable. But at the same time, my, I guess you could say, analytic mind is just doing overtime and just assuming the worst in this other guy. But maybe it's not the case at all. Maybe he can be trusted, but I don't know. He's giving me weird vibes here. Other than that, like, it was incredible. I love this so much. I love the way this set of Beastars endings, like 1, 2, and 3, set like the whole story through that of a stage. Like, the whole thing is a play. Like, it's almost like someone has orchestrated this whole thing. Like, someone is moving the pieces here. Like, it feels like Legoshi is stuck in this predetermined path. Like, he's not really determining his future. He's just part of a play. And I feel like as well, like, a big part of it as well is that, aren't they theater kids? I feel like I remember you saying that as well, Pinecino, that they're theater kids, which I think is really funny. But seeing Legoshi be the one that is stuck in these 3 endings, it makes it feel like he has no control over the outcome. And what we see here is just kind of like what's been preordained almost. And as you said a while ago, they'd go back and forth between those 3 endings. And that's really cool. I wonder if we're going to get a 4th one here in this final ending that we're going to check out. We're going to check out this final one right now. But if you guys have enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Leave a comment down below letting me know your favorite ending in this list. It has been so insanely stacked that I do not envy you guys having to choose a favorite. And yeah, let me know what you'd like to see in the future, and share this with someone who you think might enjoy. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when more videos like this one go live. If you're watching this on stream, thank you for stopping in. This has been really fun. Can't wait to check out this last one. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to check out the stream. I go live every so often. I make announcements on the YouTube community tab. My stream is twitch.tv/Jasmer. I will have it right here, and I will have it in the description down below so that you guys can check it out. Leave a follow and check out the stream sometime. It's really fun checking these out, and yeah, I'd love to have you there with me. But yeah, let's see what we get in this final ending number 10. I have no idea what we're gonna see, but here we go. Oh, a world of color. Okay. Oh shit, okay, what's this? Oh, the fairy tale seems to have died moments ago. Psychopath is back. I love the feel of this. 2 chords to sing. Oh shit, okay. The branching consciousness almost there. This feels really, really cool. It feels like a video game soundtrack almost. I don't know. Behind black bars, and it shows him Oh, they're all part of a lineup. This is sick, but holy shit, it's going so fast I can't notice anything. Police. Damn, it ended just how it started. That was sick. I feel like I gotta throw up an epilepsy warning for this one. This was intense. Psycho-Pass, I am so glad we got Psycho-Pass back again, because the video that we checked out for 2010s, like I mentioned at the start, the openings for Psycho-Pass were incredible. That second opening for Psycho-Pass, what an opening. Truly amazing. And I absolutely adore that opening with my whole being. It's something that I've listened to a lot because I feel, but what's it called? It's Nothing Set in Stone or something is the name of the artist. And funnily enough, I did actually call out that it was them when I was doing the Kingdom opening video, Out of Control. I recognized the singer's voice like halfway through. I was like, I know this voice, and I actually got it right. It's a very rare occurrence, and you guys can see that video very soon. I will be hopefully getting that Kingdom opening video out soon. This was overload. Like, I want to, like, there's a few different streams of thought that I have for this ending right here. One of them is that it reminded me a lot of like an older anime opening. Like, I'm thinking back to like Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, Technolize, you know, that kind of style and genre of opening. I know that this is an ending, but the quick editing style, the way that everything looks, the kind of techno look and everything to it, it reminds me a lot of one of those series, and I think it's great. It's very very early millennial kind of look, I would say, but it is definitely a very intense ending at the same time, because it's so flashy. It's got an incredible song in the background. You said that this is the first ending for Psycho-Pass, Monster Without a Name by EGOIST. EGOIST sounds like a familiar name. I can't say I know who they are, but that does sound like a familiar name to me. Not sure why that is. It really reminds me of like an early 2000s or like late 2000s like video game. Like, you know, you would load up a game and there would be like an FMV playing, and there would be like this really intense song playing in the background, and this song makes me think of that, like that kind of feel. So really cool. I love that this is how we end this list, for the record, with Psycho-Pass, because I couldn't think of a better series to wrap this one up with, because I have been craving more Psycho-Pass since the day I finished that opening 2. You think they're egoists in Blue Lock? That's really funny. There's just so much sauce to this, and even like shots like this where, you know, it's showing like this kind of look and everything. It's kind of going with my video game narrative, where it's almost like a Metal Gear Solid or something, where you see your character moving through, you know, all the different corridors, all the different paths and everything. You can see what's coming, you can see where you can go, all of this, and you're just this little dot in the middle. The song, so cool, so fun. I will be listening to this one after stream for sure. There's so many songs in this playlist today that I will be adding to my playlist, my personal playlist that I listen to a lot while I'm streaming, while I'm just doing random stuff, while I'm working out or whatever at the gym. And like, so many of them are getting added there, no doubt about it. I do think it's really interesting that there's a much less focus on the characters within this, and it's much more focused on the craziness of maybe the city or something like that. Like, we're seeing a lot of imagery of different locations, different symbols that represent different places, different locations that maybe are very relevant within the series that I don't know about, but maybe after episode 6 I would see this and be like, oh my god, it was showing that, you know. Like, I feel like it's kind of that kind of imagery, but it's flashing by so quickly that you don't get comfortable. You're just like never recognizing anything. It's just kind of all almost subconscious in what we're consuming from this ending, because it's so flashy, it's so in your face, it's so in and out of what we're seeing that it's really intense. It's crazy. But I do love that it spends a lot of time just presenting this intense feel, and the way all the colors are done, the way like there's overlapping imagery from like the background and the foreground, like everything blends into one another, kind of gives you the sense that the city itself is a character, and these characters are manifestations perhaps of this city. I like, you know, maybe if they're villains or something, they are villains because of the city. Like it's kind of that sort of story that it tells you. There's so many characters that it's hard to sit here and interpret how each one makes me feel and like analyze each character, because it doesn't really give you too much within this. But this guy right here, this is the main character, I believe, and he looks to be the coolest guy in the whole damn series. Is his name Shinya Kogami? Shinya Kogami? Because that's what it says at the bottom. I wonder if it shows all their names actually. Akane Tsunemon, Tomomi Masaoka, and Nobuchika Ginoza, Shion Karanomori. I cannot read this one. Shise Kagai, and Yayoi Kunizuka. Yeah, this looks like a real ragtag group of characters. You think you've never even gave out the premise of Psycho-Pass back then. You didn't tell me anything about this because you didn't want to spoil it, or I asked you not to. I can't remember which it was, but I feel like it was probably one of those series where you were like, I'm interested to hear what you think this series is about. And yeah, like it just looks to be like the word police was flashing on the screen a million times, so I'm guessing this is a police force. They work together to take down big bats. That's honestly my interpretation of this whole series. And you know, you can kind of get the sense this is kind of like your cool guy, the main character, and he's kind of laid back. He's not as serious as some of the others. Like he doesn't take it serious. He's a little less organized. You can tell that from the fact that his top button is undone, his tie's a little disheveled. Same as this guy over here on the left, the one with the orange hair, peachy hair, whatever. He seems to be a little less caring as well, but he's got style, so that would tell you that he's pretty caring, I guess. Whereas, you know, you can look at the other characters, see, okay, there's your nerd, there's your, the character that's really stuck up or whatever. The girl in the middle as well, the one that's to the left of the main character or to the right of the screen of the main character, she looks to be, if I was to compare her to another character, I would compare her to, I can't even remember her name. What's her name in Chainsaw Man? Always scared, always screaming. I don't think she's always scared and screaming, this character here, but she kind of gives me the sense that she's maybe someone who's wrapped up in a lot of stuff, that she's like overwhelmed, perhaps. It's essentially a cyberpunk police procedural where an AI called the Sybil system keeps track of the mental state of all civilians. That's insane. And police are sent out with weapons called enforcers to stop people before they get too unstable. That's really crazy. And I guess that makes sense why it's called Psycho-Pass, because they're able to tap into people's analytics, I don't know, and know what people might be about to do, but at the same time there's no telling what someone will do, because what someone's feeling, what someone's doing doesn't necessarily mean that they're about to act out in a certain way. But I think it's cool. I love the premise, but I imagine there's a lot of gray area within this series that kind of presents moral questions of, is this okay, and what is and isn't normal, what can they, what can't they do. I think that would be a really interesting part of the series, and that's something I would be really interested in checking out. Yeah, I had no idea. I thought that it was just you know, these good guys versus bad guys. I didn't know anything about it, but yeah, it really makes you wonder then, are they good people? Because yes, they're part of like a police force, and they are doing acts that are considered good, like they're being ordered to go do these things. But I'm sure there's obviously some questionable moments within this where you're just like, I'm not sure I agree with that. At least that's how I'm imagining anyway. But Yeah, Psychopaths, what an incredible looking series. It's so fun returning to all these series that I remember absolutely adoring back in the 2010s lists that we did ages ago. Like, so many 2010s lists have been wrapped up here. We had the list with the thumbnail that had Steins Gate, Psychopaths, Nichijou, and Promised Neverland. We got some endings from that opening video. We got the Beastars video as well, like the one within the thumbnail. We got endings for that thumbnail as well, like that video with openings. It's just so great to return to the 2010s and to familiar friends. It's been such a blast. This has been one of the genuinely strongest lists I think I've checked out, full stop. Like, it's really dang great, like, especially for endings. This has been amazing. The weapon they used was actually called the Dominator. It was more unsubtle than you remembered. Yeah, that's insane. The Dominator. I do think I'm going to wrap this one up now. Let me know your favorite down below. I'd love to hear. For me, there's too many to count, but I absolutely love this, and I'd love to hear what you guys thought down below. And yeah, as always, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when more videos go live. Subscribe if you want to support the channel. Hit the like button if you want to support the channel. Share this with someone who you think might enjoy. And as always, comment down below letting me know your favorite from this list. And yeah, I hope that you guys are having a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. We will be checking out more endings probably very soon. I assume that the next is going to be endings as well. Very excited to check out more in the future. I hope that we get to see more of each of these series in the future as well. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. I hope that you guys are having a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.